So I'm here at the skate park where there's this guy running around with his remote control. Uh, you know, I thought I'd seen it all. I live here in Asia, and the skate park is where I exercise, and I meet a lot of people. If you didn't know this, one of the best ways to be a positive influence on people is to have a skate park and to talk to people at the skate park. Those are people that want ideas and like ideas and that need ideas. And it's where I get ideas. But I'm here in Asia, and a few weeks ago we've got a plane going overhead. What is it? Oh yeah, there it goes. He's headed over there to the, where was it? It was the Tainan airport, the airport that the Americans used in Vietnam. So I'm here, and I was on my way here a few weeks ago, and there was this other guy on the road that was riding the same brand, make and model of motorcycle that I had. And we kept seeing each other at one stoplight after the next. So finally I just said, add me on Facebook. He's like, okay, and pulled out his phone, and it actually took like 2 or 3 traffic light turns to get that because it had a problem, but that made it more interesting. And it turned out that he's a Christian who is having big questions about Sunday morning. He loves Jesus, he likes to learn about the Bible, but he's doing this, let's invite our friends and be nice and not talk about anything too serious, and we'll hopefully talk about the 4 spiritual laws of Jesus and all that. And he's been having questions about that, so we finally got together and I showed him 52bible.com, the number 52bible.com, that I wrote to make the Bible simple. And he looked at that and he said, wow, this is really amazing. And I said, don't try to sneak around with people. If you believe Jesus, tell them. And if you are, if you believe the Bible, then, the number one evidence for why the Bible is real is what it does when we read it every day, and it changes our lives. There's books on apologetics and historical evidence and science of the Bible, but what it does to our lives is the important thing. So live the Bible and don't try to sneak Jesus into people. And I showed him the Tao video where they taught the whole history of the Bible first to this tribe, and then Jesus just made sense to them, and it didn't seem preachy. It wasn't a weird religion thing, and it's just life and wisdom and common sense. And he said, wow, really? I didn't know that. And so that's what I do. That was just one random story. A guy I met on the motorcycle, the same make and model as mine. There it is right over there. And, there goes a taxi if you don't know. There's the local baseball stadium, the Tainan Lions. And so meeting that guy on the motorcycle was just one random thing. And I have stories like that happen day after day. Another guy I met on the street once, we got to be friends. I was friendly to people, and the neighbors asked the neighbors who asked the neighbors who asked the neighbors who I was. And here we are a year later, and he just finished his first year of college studying mathematics as his major because that's what his test scores said he was good at, and he didn't know what else to study. So he doesn't know what he wants to do. He studied for a semester C language and still didn't know what he wanted to do for a college major or with his life and such. So I showed him this simple little curriculum I made for using Linux, which is similar to C language but simpler. And he said, this is an awesome way to teach. It just makes sense. And after 30 minutes of going through my 3 lessons with him on the simple coding language, he just said, wow, this makes so much sense. And all of a sudden he wants to study programming language. He didn't know what programming language was after a semester of learning C language, but I show him just a couple of things in Ubuntu with Linux, and it all makes sense to him. And that was just like the other afternoon. And then later on, I went, and there's a girl whose mom has a job, and they don't have lots of money, but the girl wants to learn English. And I showed her my free website, write.pink. It's the full web address. And I showed her how she can teach herself English on my website there. And that was an evening. And then I came here to the skate park where people talk to me here, and I encourage people. in whatever way I can. Yesterday, a kid asked me, he said, why do you only practice on the half pipe? Why do you just do that? And I said, well, I need to make my legs strong. I want to practice the correct technique because I know I'll skate better in the long run if I do that. And I'll sit over there and just do that back and forth for an hour nonstop. And that's my cardiovascular exercise. And if I go to a gym that's expensive, I can do that there. And I think that that's exciting, but maybe not. But if I do it here, some kid will come up and talk to me and ask me why I stay focused and discipline myself, which I can't do in another situation. This is my life in Asia. And some people say that I'm a missionary, and I don't agree, but maybe they're just trying to understand me. Some people say that, well, some people don't really know what I am. I'm not sure what I am. I'm Jesse. That's who I am. And I write my stories that happen like this at FromAsiaWithLove.net, FromAsiaWithLove.net. And you can subscribe. It's really not very expensive, and it's good news. Like, we read all this negative news in the headlines every day. Newspapers are trying to get subscriptions to their bad news. You know, they deliver these news stories about all the terrible things happening in the world. Well, I write good news about what's happening in my life here in Asia, and it's an inspiration to many people. And I'm able to stay here, and I'm able to put my time into people and learn about Asia and help other people understand more about maybe Western better ways of doing things. And I'm able to learn maybe Eastern better ways of doing things because I'm able to stay here because of money that I get from FromAsiaWithLove.net. So please go over there and get these stories. 3 every week. I try to keep them to half a page or a page because I know you're busy. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, they post about 5 a.m., just after 5 a.m. Eastern time. And this is my life, and I have these circumstances that happen all the time. We hear these stories about the missionaries like Hudson Taylor, or we got Bruchko. Missionaries have these wild stories. They just go out into the world, and these amazing things happen to them, and we read about them in books after the fact. Well, I'm here now. This is happening now, and this is my life, and it's wild and nuts now. So go to FromAsiaWithLove.net and get a subscription. It's not expensive, and it's good news, and it will inspire you, and you can participate in awesome, cool stuff that keeps happening over here. Please do enjoy. Love you.